Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. With so much debate around training frequency, volume and rest periods, it's really easy to lose sight of the one principle that truly matters: progressive overload. Without it, those muscle gains just aren't going to happen. So why aren't we making progress? I want to break it down for you with 3 scenarios that might explain why you may be stuck in a bit of a plateau and not actually gaining any muscle. Scenario number 1, inadequate workout stimulus. So why aren't we making progress? I want to break this down for you in 3 different scenarios that might just explain why you're stuck in a bit of a plateau and not growing any muscle. The first thing I want to talk about is inadequate workout stimulus. If you are not training enough, if your workout isn't challenging enough, you're not challenging what we call the high threshold motor units, then you're not giving your muscles the signal that they actually need to grow. So repeating the same routine without increasing, for example, the load or reps means that you are not progressing, no matter how hard you train. I have seen this countless of times. People go into the gym and they do the exact same routines, for the exact same reps, with the exact same weight, and then they wonder why things aren't moving in the right direction. Progressive overload is really important. If you do the same reps, the same weight every single week, how can you expect to get different results? With these videos, the goal for me is to obviously train whilst talking to you about a simple concept that I want you to think about. And obviously that's what I'm doing today. But the majority of the time you see me work out, the exercises that I'm doing are very similar, pretty much the same on a week-to-week basis. But I'm never always stuck in the rep range that I did the previous week or the weight. I always want to improve on that. So example here, I'm doing my first exercise is calves on the leg press. Last week I did 200 kilos for 6 reps. I'm going for 210 this week and just see if I can get 4 reps even, but I've increased the weight. And this is what I'm talking about, progressive overload. If you get stuck, for example, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, your weight isn't going up anymore, your reps aren't moving anymore, then we maybe need to look at changing the exercise to change things up a little bit so that you can still continue that progressive overload. But you don't want to be coming in every week and doing the exact same thing that you did the previous 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, because you're not going to get results from that. So let's see what we can get out of this. As I always say with the calf raises, whether you're doing it seated, whether you do it standing, whether you do it on a leg press, I always hold a 5-second stretch at the bottom. That's been the best thing that's changed my training with calves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. As I said, if you're missing out on progressive overload, either because your stimulus is too low or because you've created muscle damage and that is coupled with central nervous fatigue, then your progress will stall. Moving on to our second exercise, a single leg glute drive. We got 130 for 7 last time on this. We're going to go again for 130, see if we can beat 8 on this today. I'm going to start off with my weakest side, which is my right leg. I always start off, if I'm doing single limb stuff, I always start off with the weaker side first, because I don't want that weaker side to get weaker, right? So always go with the weaker first, because you're going to have more energy on your first set. And then match it on the other leg. Key thing as well, guys, make sure that your knee and your ankle are in a straight line. You want a 90-degree angle at the top. If I go too far away, I'm going to get a lot more hamstring, as well as if I come here, it's just going to feel very, very awkward as well. I'm not going to get what I want out of the exercise. And then try not to use, although I've got that toe on the platform there, try not to use that toe to help you with the movement, to make sure all the movement's all on through the glute that you're trying to work. That's good, 8. Now I could go straight onto the other leg, but I'm gonna give myself a bit of a 30 seconds, 40 seconds before I go into the other leg. I'm not gonna rest 2-3 minutes because otherwise I'm gonna get so many more reps on this side because it's my stronger side. But rest about 30, 40 seconds, just get my breath back to normal and then go again. Exercise, still focusing on the glutes. We did 2 working sets on the glute drive for the short range of the glute. We're doing 1 working set per leg on this exercise, a bit more length and range of the glute mid on here. So we're only doing 1 because muscle damage. We know we don't want much of that. And length and range exercises will create a lot more muscle damage. So we did 75 pounds, which is 34 kilos. The last time I did this for 5 reps. The goal is to try and get 6 or above. Stability is key, especially when you're doing single leg stuff, hip hinging stuff. Stability becomes very important. So having something to grab onto is really, really important. So I'm going to do left leg. So I'm holding this with my right hand. Okay. Got a good 8 on that. Really, really happy with that. So there are a few actionable strategies to ensure that we can keep progressing on our sessions. First one, you need to track your progress. You need to record every rep, weight, and your recovery period. If you're not actually seeing any improvements, maybe it's time to adjust something. I don't understand how most people go to the gym without understanding what they did prior. Having something to count your reps on, whether you do it on a piece of paper, whether you do it on an app. I, for example, use an app called Rep Count, which I've been doing for years. So every time I come and train, I know what I did previously. So I can keep track of my progression. Am I going in the right direction? If not, what is it that I need to adjust? Moving on to the leg press now. We're going to do 1 working set here. Length and range causes a lot of damage. So I've done one warm up. I'm going to do another one, and then 1 working set, and then on the leg press. But second thing that you could look at in terms of progression is, if, for example, I'm on this leg press and everything's perfect. My volume is good, my sleep is great, my nutrition is great, my stress levels are where they need to be, and I'm just taking a plateau on here. I'm not moving forward. On the exercise, I can't get more reps, I can't get any more weight. I've hit that plateau. Then change exercises. Go for another exercise, maybe a similar type of exercise, so you can go for a hack squat. And then try and progress on that hack squat until you hit another plateau that you cannot move forward from. And then only then change the exercise. Don't change it on a weekly basis because you're never gonna actually know whether you're progressing or not. Okay, so we did 170 on this for 5 reps. Last time I did it. Let's see if we can progress on it. Come on. Whew. 6. Manage your recovery. What do I mean by that? Proper nutrition, eating a well-balanced diet, making sure you hit your protein, making sure you have enough carbohydrates in your diet so that you can actually fuel your sessions, making sure your sleep is on point, making sure you're managing your stress, make sure that you're actually doing some work on the days off from weight training. I'm a big proponent of cardiovascular work. So I do a little bit of cardiovascular work on the days off from training, mainly zone 2 cardio, and mainly things that don't involve high impact. I don't do running, I don't do skipping, I don't do anything that involves me jumping up and down or hitting something, because that's going to create a lot more muscle damage, more load through the joints, and that will then have an impact on your training sessions. So I'm more of a fan of, for example, biking, rowing, ski erging. 3 things are the ones I tend to focus on most, purely because they are very low impact and then don't have an impact on my weight training sessions. But also, how long you do them for is important. If, for example, I'm doing zone 2 and I'm on a bike, I'm still able to have a conversation whilst I'm doing it. I'm not totally out of breath, but I'm increasing my heart rate slowly. I also like to do a HIIT session once a week to really elevate my heart rate to the highest level possible. But that is such a short amount of time. I do 30 seconds on, 20 seconds off. And that really helps me to stay my heart elevated, and I do no more than 7 rounds. That doesn't have an impact on my weight training sessions. I tend to do it either, for example, if I'm training today and I want to train tomorrow, I'm not going to do it today. But maybe tomorrow after my session, I'll do it, because then I'm not going to train for a day or 2. So that won't have an impact on my recovery. Second working set on here, I've done already 1 full stack for 7 reps. We'll try to see what we can get out of this. And the reason I'm doing 2 on this is because it's short range. Short range exercises means less damage, and quads especially recover pretty well as well. For most people, but I know for me for sure, if I don't do too much length and range stuff, my quads recover pretty well when I focus mainly on, for example, leg extension. Okay, I think we got 5 on this last time on the second set. Let's see if we can at least get 6. I'm happy with that. So to sum it up, if you want consistent progress in your strength training, make sure you're hitting progressive overload. So if you found this breakdown helpful, please give this video a bit of a thumbs up, subscribe for more in-depth training tips, and drop your questions below, or even your success stories on the back of these videos. I'd love to hear from you. And remember guys, every rep counts when you know how to break through any plateaus. So train smart, recover well, make sure you keep pushing those limits and keep growing in a healthy, sustainable manner. Let's keep growing together, stronger and smarter. I'll see you on the next video. Now, lion leg curl, and we're done. See you soon.